Most people don't fail to start a business because they lack ideas. They fail because they believe ideas take too much time to launch. They imagine weeks of planning and days of filming and dozens of tasks on a checklist that they never even wrote. But in my opinion, in 2025, the biggest lie holding new entrepreneurs back is this: I don't have time. Because the bottleneck is not time anymore. It's you. Trying to do everything manually, trying to be in 10 places at once with one body, one calendar, and zero room to breathe. But now you can multiply your presence without multiplying your to-do list. Because thanks to a new AI feature, you can create a digital version of you. Your voice, your face, your tone, speaking, presenting, teaching, without you actually having to record anything new. You write the words and your avatar delivers them, and then the system scales it. So in this video, I would like to show you 6 powerful ways that I would use this AI avatar to launch faster, to show up more, to build trust earlier, and to make your first version feel like your 10th, even if you're just getting started. Because today, the people winning are not the ones who know everything. That's not the case anymore. Knowledge is everywhere. It's freely available. They're the ones who ship, who deliver something, and who evolve in public. So let's start there. In my opinion, speed is the new barrier to entry. Not because things need to be perfect, but because things move fast and you don't. And that is what, in my opinion, kills most ideas. It's not the lack of strategy, but the lag between thinking and delivering. Because I hear entrepreneurs so many times in our community telling themselves, I just need a bit more time. But what you actually need is less friction, less mental energy wasted re-recording, re-explaining, redoing the same intro for the 5th time over. And I think I read this in Naval Ravikant's work, something along the lines of play long-term games with long-term people. But first, you need to start the game before you end up playing it, right? So here's the truth, in my opinion. The first version does not need to be perfect. It just needs to be. It needs to exist. It needs to be real. And it needs to ship. That is why the smartest entrepreneurs in 2025 are not doing everything themselves, but they're relying on technology and multiplying themselves strategically in order to collapse the space between idea and action, in order to multiply their presence before they multiply their team. And it starts with this first use case. Number 1, let's talk about evergreen courses and product intros, because you nowadays can teach once and appear everywhere. Look, over the years, I've built multiple courses, digital products, programs, and here's what no one tells you. Your content ages faster than your strategy. Not because your ideas stop working. No, they still do. But because the market evolves and your positioning shifts or your insights deepen. And suddenly, that one lesson, that one intro video, that one course module is no longer aligned. So what happens? You re-record, you re-edit, you wait for the right lighting, the right hair, in my case, the right schedule, and what could have taken 20 minutes steals your entire day. And eventually you start thinking, well, maybe I'll just leave it. It's not that outdated. And that is how your best products fall behind. Not because they're broken, because they clearly aren't. If they're selling, it means they're effective, they're good, they're valuable, but because they're trapped in your calendar. So here's what changes with your AI twin nowadays. You basically just update the script and your AI avatar delivers it. It's the same face, the same tone, the same trust. And this way your product evolves without you needing to show up. And I don't know if you're aware, but according to Thinkific, over 65% of course creators update their materials yearly, but more than half say the biggest barrier is video production time. And this is coming from a 2023 Thinkific course creator report. Now, your product shouldn't slow down just because your schedule does. So your AI avatar, your twin, lets you iterate at the speed of your own thinking. So this way, your teaching becomes more dynamic and your presence becomes perpetual. And the work that you once dreaded, you guessed it, now runs on autopilot. So let's say that you love the idea of using an AI version of yourself in your business, but you don't know how to actually build one. Well, this is why I would love to introduce you to a new feature that InVideo AI have recently released. And thank you, by the way, InVideo, for partnering with us on today's video. So basically, they have just released the feature that allows you to create your AI avatar, your AI twin. And this makes the whole process frictionless, even for beginners. So how do you do that? Well, obviously, first you need to go to invideo.io. Once you're there, make sure that you're using version 4.0 and you'll see a new option that says AI twins. When you click on it, it gives you 3 possibilities. Either to create your avatar using your YouTube channel, recording to avatar, or just cloning your voice, which cloning your voice was an option that we had before as well. So what I did, I actually tried both, using my YouTube channel and recording to avatar. What turns out is that using the recording to avatar leads to a better result in terms of the quality of your AI twin, because for YouTube, it doesn't have only a static shot, it has dynamic, right? So you move from close-ups to wide shots, and because of that, when the avatar is created, especially the mouth area is not that perfect. But when you use recording to avatar, the quality is much, much better if you make sure to upload a frame that is, let's say, static. So you're not using jump cuts in the part of the video that you're uploading. Also, you need to make sure that your video that you upload includes you giving permission to InVideo to use that avatar, obviously, because you don't want other people to be using your avatar. So InVideo need to make sure that you have the rights for whatever video you're using as your source. So if you do decide to go with your YouTube channel, then you go ahead and click on that. You paste the link to one of your videos. Make sure that it's at least 60 seconds and you talk directly to the camera. And then you do need to upload your separate consent where you say, I give InVideo AI permission to use, upload consent. Clearly you need to approve that all of this is real. And then when you click on looks good, then it'll start generating your new avatar. If you choose to go for recording to avatar, then you can only upload the file that you have locally, and make sure that it also has the permission for InVideo to use you or whoever you're uploading to create that avatar. So you need to give them the rights for that. Go ahead and click looks good, and then your avatar is going to be created. Now, this does take a little bit, maybe 2 to 3 minutes. Once you're done, your avatar is going to show up here. So as you can see, my avatar is already prepared. So now how do you use it? You're going to click on the avatar, hit continue, and then here you are going to tell InVideo what kind of video you want to create. Now, if you are not comfortable with creating your own avatar, you also have alternatives. So when you go to AI twins, here at the top, you've got UGC human actors, meaning these are avatars based on actual humans that have given consent to InVideo to use them as avatars. So you can go ahead and choose somebody who you think would be suitable for the video you're creating. Or you can use UGC virtual actors, and in that case, you can pick any one of these virtual AI avatars that are available here. Now, let's say that I would like for my avatar to re-record the introduction for one of my courses. What I would do, I would essentially come here and say, please have my avatar read this script. And when you do that, you want to make sure that you don't have any unnecessary signs. So, for example, if you've used AI to generate the script, many times it'll create sections that are bold. And when you paste them in your prompt space here, then it'll have the asterisks at the beginning and at the end. You want to delete those, as well as all the M dashes that are sometimes also generated by AI, because your avatar is going to read those as well. And then another thing you need to be aware of is that usually InVideo will also edit the video. So if you just want InVideo to only have your A roll, so you speaking to the camera, reading the script, then you need to be very specific with that. Otherwise, it will include all sorts of B-roll, stock footage, and so forth. So it will actually edit your video. If that's what you want, then make sure you specify that. If you just want your A-roll, then you need to explain that to InVideo as well. Once you're happy, just hit generate my video, and then you wait. And at the end, InVideo will generate a full HD video with you delivering it. And the avatar is just the beginning, because InVideo gives you creative control as well. So you can edit things right inside the video using very simple natural language prompts like make me appear more or less in the video, or change the tone to more persuasive, or swap this background for something more premium, or translate this to French because you also have over 50 languages that are available in video. So you can speak pretty much any language. Or you can say speed up the narration. I mean, what's even more incredible is that now you can even paste in a product link and have InVideo generate user-generated content style ads delivered by your avatar or one of their built-in AI actors, which is great if you're not ready to be on camera, as I said. All right, so our video is now ready. You can go ahead and edit it or download it as is. Let's take a quick look.
You've built your offer. You know what you sell and who it's for. But here's the truth. A silent offer is the same as no offer.
Okay, so first of all, it's not perfect, but the way that the mimic, so the face expressions and the gestures look, that's really impressive. The mouth is still not perfect, but I think, for the first version, this is incredible. Now, I would definitely like to make some changes to it. So what you can do now is come here and just provide natural language guidance. So what I'm going to say is speed me up by and make the avatar the stock footage. Okay, the changes are done. Let's take a look.
You've built your offer. You know what you sell and who it's for. But here's the truth. A silent offer is the same as no offer. A message undelivered is a message unheard. This is where most founders fall short. They don't fail because their product isn't great. They fail because no one sees it consistently enough to care.
Okay, so definitely it did speed me up. It did switch to the full screen, but I would still like to make some changes. So what you can do is go here to edit, and you can edit media, music, script. So I'm gonna go to edit media, and here you can either upload your own, you can use stock media, or even generate something with AI. I'm just gonna go with stock media and see what alternatives I'm being shown. I actually like this one. So it just got replaced and I click apply and that is it. Now also in terms of the script, I would like to make some changes because I noticed that it takes too long pauses. So what I'm going to do is I will delete here the pause. And then go ahead and save changes. Okay, so let's play that again.
You've built your offer. You know what you sell and who it's for. But here's the truth. A silent offer is the same as no offer. A message undelivered is a message unheard. This is where most founders fall short. They don't fail because their product isn't great. They fail because no one sees it consistently enough to care.
Clearly, it now speaks without the pauses, and it has changed the B-roll. Now let's try another language.
Has creado tu oferta. Sabes lo que vendes y para quién es. Pero aquí está la verdad. Una oferta silenciosa es lo mismo que ninguna oferta. Un mensaje no entregado es un mensaje que no se escucha. Aquí es donde la mayoría de los fundadores se quedan cortos. No fallan porque su producto no sea excelente. Fallan porque nadie lo ve, con la suficiente constancia para que les importe.
I mean, that's not too far from how I speak Spanish, to be honest. So if you're serious about creating a consistent content engine or using your AI avatar to help you create videos of yourself, then the generative plan is your best bet. I know it's not very cheap, it's $100 a month, but honestly, what you create with it is going to save you so much more, not only in terms of time, but also in terms of budget, because you won't be needing a lot of additional resources that you otherwise would if you would be creating your videos with extra team members, for example. Because this kind of subscription gives you enough credits to make dozens of polished videos without, as I said, hiring an entire production team. This is what we use, and it saves us so many hours in a week. Now, use case number 2, let's talk about high converting lead magnet videos, because people don't convert from pages. They convert from presence, from trust. And you don't need a fancy funnel to build trust. You need your face. Because no matter how good your copy is, most people still don't believe what they read, especially nowadays. But they do believe a person who looks them in the eye and says, I made this for you. I've been there, and I know what you're going through, and this is going to solve your problem. But speaking of problems, here is the problem. As an aspiring entrepreneur, you don't have time to show up one-to-one for every visitor. You are building, you're learning, you're trying to launch without burning out, but that is exactly why your AI twin can be a huge game changer in your business, because instead of another static landing page, you would be able to drop a short video, your avatar, your voice, your tone, greeting the new visitors. I mean, it's like putting your handshake on the homepage. And the data backs it up because landing pages with video can boost conversions by up to 80%, I believe, according to Wistia. Personalized experience can increase purchase intent by 78%. And all you need is a 60-second video. You just need to write the base script, which you can also use AI for. And then your twin takes care of the rest 24/7 at scale without burnout. And with that, you would have built something that most businesses never do: a funnel with a face, a lead magnet with personality, and a brand that feels human even when it's automated. Because the fastest path to trust is presence nowadays. And with AI twins, you would be able to multiply yourself and your presence and scale it on autopilot. Now, let's move to the next one. So the third one is about automated sales follow-ups. Because you do not need more leads, you need more follow-through. I mentioned that in a video that hopefully we'll remember to link down below. And I think it's such an underrated step within your sales process. Because look, most aspiring entrepreneurs focus all of their energy on the first impression, the post, the lead, the DM. But deals rarely close on the first click. They close on the follow-up. Because at least a few years ago, studies were showing that you need 16 touch points in order to make a sale. And this is where a lot of people and their businesses fall off. Not because they don't care, but because they're doing everything manually and get spread too thin. And especially if you're a solo founder or building your first offer, you're already stretching yourself super thin. And following up with every lead feels like another full-time job. Believe me, I know that. I've been in those shoes too. But here's what you can do differently. With your AI twin, you can embed short, human-feeling videos into your email sequences or automations. Or if you have their phone number, you can send them a little video just saying, "Hey Sarah, just checking in on proposal that I sent to you yesterday," or "Just wanted to answer that question that you asked on the webinar replay." And you know what's crazy? You only had to write the base script once. You're not automating messages, you are automating your momentum, your speed. And if you want to be even more sophisticated, you can have an agent that reads your sales calls transcripts and then adjusts the script accordingly. Now, I've heard Todd Hartley talk about this a while back in a business training that I took. He was calling it the trust transfer point, if I remember right, where a face, a voice, and a presence closes the gap that copy alone never will. And I think what he was saying is that personalized video follow-ups had boosted conversion rates for his business 2 or 3 times over, 300%, even when sent via simple CRM automations. You are not blasting a list. You are showing up like a human, like a person, even when you're not there. So now the trust that you build does not dissolve in the inbox. It compounds. You become memorable. You feel present. You feel like you care. You scale belief both in you and in your offer, but also in your process. Because in 2025, people don't buy from businesses. They buy from a human they trust. And I know we're talking about AI twins here, but they will be able to embody as closely as possible you, your style, your voice, your tone, your care. And they will let that trust follow up faster than you ever could. Now, let's move to the next one. Number 4. Social content at scale. Anyone? Look, you don't need to post volumes. You need to publish more valuable content. This is what I see a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs eventually realizing. It is not your product that builds traction. Most of the time, it's your unique perspective. But getting that perspective out, it takes time because you need to write a post, you need to film a reel, you need to edit it, you need to caption it, you need to format it for every platform out there. And by the time it's out, you're already behind schedule. Let me know if you've been in that place as well. I know I have. And that's why most new founders end up disappearing and giving up, not because they don't have value to share, but because the creation treadmill kills momentum. And I don't know if you're aware, but recently, maybe less than a year ago, I was looking at some stats about YouTube and YouTube channels out there. And it was mentioned that only 4% of all the YouTube channels ever created were able to exceed 1,000 subscribers. Can you imagine how crazy that is? That 96% of channels ever created died before they reach 1,000 subscribers, which usually it shouldn't take longer than 3-4 months. It depends a lot on many things, but let's say on average, it should take somewhere around 3 to 6 months to reach 1,000 subscribers. So that means that most business owners give up before 3 months. Well, your AI twin could make a huge difference. It could change that tremendously because you would be able to write, 5 scripts, and then your twin can turn them into 5 short form videos in your face, your voice, your tone, and then you can repurpose them as reels, as TikToks, as shorts, and then have them scheduled and posted. I mean, your clone will have your charisma, but it will let it compound. And I know what you are going to be asking next, because this is a question that I also get a lot in our community. But isn't YouTube not supporting AI-created content anymore? Well, yes and no. While honestly, it's really hard to know for sure exactly what is going to happen, because I am filming this video before July 15th. The truth is that, in my opinion, what probably will happen is not all AI-generated content is going to not be supported by YouTube's algorithm. But the approach that they're taking is making sure that channels don't post garbage. Content that is created like a mass production line without adding any value. But if you do use AI and add value and viewers are excited to watch your videos, then I don't see any problem with having your AI avatar delivering your videos. And actually, if I remember, I'm going to add here an example from a YouTube channel that I very coincidentally came across, where the main person, the owner of the channel, was using an avatar to deliver the content. So in my opinion, I think that will not go away. I think YouTube will not underfavor this kind of channels. It will probably not support, however, low quality, high volume type of content that is created with AI. So don't worry, you, in my opinion, can probably still use this even for YouTube. And now you can be everywhere your audience scrolls without burning out or hiring a content team or having to give up 3 months later. And the key, in my opinion, is that you're not publishing more noise, but you're distilling your message and scaling it like a system. Because attention in 2025 does not go to the loudest. It goes to the most consistent, valuable input, content, signal. And consistency no longer requires capacity. It just requires a good quality avatar and making sure that your energy shows up daily, that your voice stays top of mind, that your brand build. The future does not belong to the most talented. It belongs to those that are most visible nowadays. And your AI twin is how you start showing up like you're already there. Okay, now let's move to the next one. Here I want to talk about personalized client or team member onboarding, because this is a scenario that we have come across quite a bit in our AI agency. Because look, first impressions do not start at the sale or the hiring. They end with the system that follows. We're seeing a lot of founders wait until they have clients to start thinking about onboarding. But what actually builds retention, referrals, and repeat business is a client who feels seen, a team member who knows exactly what to do, a first interaction that feels designed and personalized. And here's the truth, clients don't remember your pitch. I know it's hard to believe because you work so hard on it, but what ends up happening is they remember your process. So that's why this use case is so important, especially if you're building your business. Because with your AI twin, every new client or new team member can receive a personalized welcome message delivered by you, even if you're in 10 other conversations that day. So you explain what's coming, you can set expectations, you reinforce your brand energy. And as I said, we're building these kinds of agents for a museum to greet new team members and walk them through their SOPs, for a kindergarten chain to onboard hires and parents and guide them through the digital journey. I mean, it doesn't save only time, it creates trust at scale, because you don't need to sacrifice your human presence in order to build that trust with your new hires or your clients. And if you're just starting out, this is not overkill, this is a huge differentiator, because the founder who shows up with clarity, even in the onboarding, doesn't look like a solo operator. They feel like a brand with gravity. Let's move to the next one. Creating a virtual office or a knowledge hub. This is again another use case that we have quite a bit in our agency, because people don't just want answers, they want knowledge on demand. And as your business grows, you are going to face a new bottleneck, and that is usually answering the same questions, explaining the same SOPs, repeating the same processes again and again and again. And the more that you scale, actually, the more that your presence becomes the blocker. And that's when you'll realize that your AI twin can become more than your talking head, but your on-demand knowledge layer for your business. So I want you to think about having, Notion or website-based hub for your team or for your clients. I mean, I've seen businesses using huge OneNotes or SharePoints for this. Well, you don't need that anymore because your AI twin can live wherever you want it and know everything about your system. I don't know, how to use a certain dashboard, or what to do if somebody's stuck, or how to navigate your offers, or why you design things like that. And it can speak in your tone and provide your delivery. And it will be available 24/7 without another DM or another Zoom call to go through the same thing 100 times. Basically, you go from support inbox responder to strategic clarity machine. And one thing that I think is important to understand is that real scale does not come from hiring more people. It comes from capturing your clarity and making it reusable. This is what most books and theories about scaling businesses talk about. But in the past, we didn't have agents. Now we do, and AI. So what you want is not to outsource answers. You want to embed your best thinking so that your brand teaches itself. Because we are now in a world where attention spans are very short and support needs are very high. And this kind of self-service layer is very, very important for scalability. It'll completely unlock that for your business. Because every time you answer a question manually, you miss the chance to systematize your genius. But with your AI twin, with your AI avatar, you stay available without staying on call. And if you want to learn how to create your AI avatar, if you want to learn how to create AI agents for your business or for other businesses that you would like to support, then I would love to see you in our free school community. We have almost 10,000 members, probably 10,000 today. I am so overwhelmed and mind blown thinking that in only a couple months we've been able to get so many people on board and really create this movement, because you would now be surrounded by people who are on the exact same path as you are, learning the same things as you are, practicing and applying the same things as you are. And you would be able to ask questions and come twice a month and join our calls or jump on free AI challenges and learn and apply and practice so that you can create leverage. All right. I hope to see you on the other side. Like this video if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so. Also, make sure to share this with someone in your circle of friends or family who you think might need to benefit from having their own AI avatar. And until next time, I suggest you go ahead and watch this video over here. I'll see you soon.